Like a shock, this flight experience ended up being the worst in 7 years of aviation reports. One of the best airlines in the world and one of the best aircraft on the market, the introduction of the Airbus A350 should be an easy success story for Emirates. Still, they invited press and a few big influencers to fly for free on the first few flights. So even if not forced, there's naturally just reports out there now where you hear the words amazing and incredible every 10 seconds. I went 3 days after the first flight to Edinburgh with a paid ticket and unobserved, and I saw the expected wows and flaws that we know from Emirates until far into the flight. I got a nasty surprise that changed everything for me. In this unsponsored and therefore very honest report, you will find out what the big problem here is and why it is so serious that I cannot recommend this new business class that will spread over a big part of the Emirates fleet. But now, still full of anticipation and not knowing what's gonna happen, we're starting in Dubai.
The time has come. Emirates, the iconic airline with a certain bling bling, has introduced a new aircraft type into its fleet after 17 years, the Airbus A350. With big money, Emirates advertised the introduction into the fleet for months, but then the inaugural flight got delayed by more than just a few weeks. But now we're there, and just after its inaugural flight, we're going on board this plane when everything is still fresh, but nobody's gonna watch anymore what that YouTuber has to say. Emirates seems to lose all its fun factors on board this plane. There's no glitzy first class on board. There's also not the famous onboard shower spa like on the A380, and there's also no onboard bar. So what is left of what makes Emirates so special? Is the airline actually downgrading itself, or is there still something really spectacular waiting for us that we don't know about yet? I'm really curious now, and here we go. Emirates business class on the Airbus A350 in 8 hours from Dubai to Edinburgh. And here we are on board the Airbus A350 of Emirates, just a few days after its inaugural flight. And this is actually episode number 14 of my series about Emirates and Dubai. Well, looking around this cabin, you see, of course, it's a very, very beautiful cabin. However, it is just a polished version of the cabin of the Airbus A380 that we've seen for many years now. There's this nice wall with the Emirates Golf Tree logo. Otherwise, the entire cabin looks basically like the well-known one on the Airbus A380. So Emirates isn't bringing anything really new, except for that there's no onboard bar like on the A380, of course. But everything looks very high quality, elegant and modern, with a little less bling than before, which is good. The seat shell is also a little higher than on the A380, and Emirates got the inspiration for the cream-colored faux leather seat from the Mercedes S-Class. It is precisely this seat that is now gradually finding its way into the Boeing 777 fleet too. The beautiful finishings don't stop at these nice-looking faux leather armrests, and later you will see that these massive armrests cause an even more massive problem. The little private bar is still not chilled but has received a design upgrade, and also the tablet is new and has replaced the regular remote control. The buttons for the seat, however, are not in a good position, as you cannot help but touch them unintentionally with your arm throughout the flight. There's inductive phone charging now, and there's USB-A and C sockets, and the USB-A is super fast. The crew, of course, is really nice, and then they have something very special here at Emirates that I don't know really what it is, but they just know how to make the experience fun. No matter in economy, business class, first class, of course, it's always somehow fun to fly on Emirates. Then they have the really nice boarding music. It's always entertaining music here. really cool actually. So altogether that is quite nice. That's the first impression. However, Emirates likes to see themselves as the best of the best and so on. And looking at that and looking at the whole airline and what they have as products, I'm wondering, is this a game changer and maybe downwards? I'm not so sure now. It's gonna be such an interesting flight. We're taxiing to the runway, and Emirates has really nice cameras built in the Airbus A350 here. Really nice crystal clear picture and also some good information about the flight. Before the flight I went to the lounge, and here in Dubai it's really quite an experience. Let's have a look at the lounge right now and then we take off. And we're climbing above the Persian Gulf, and after boarding they had first a hot wet towel, then there was a selection of welcome drinks that was water, orange juice, guava juice and champagne. And champagne is their current regular champagne, that's Veuve Clicquot 2015 vintage. That's the regular champagne all over the business class in the airline here at Emirates. Then we have some slippers and eye shades. They were lying on the seat already, so we have that. Then there's some noise cancelling headsets, and of course there was already the menu and the wine list, and of course we're gonna have a look at that later. One thing that is just outstanding here at Emirates is their entertainment system, ICE. And that has nothing to do with the Airbus A350, but that is the case on all aircraft of the airline. And here, I mean, you have such an incredible selection of movies from all cultural regions of the world. That is really fantastic, not just Hollywood, but everything. Then you have TV series, TV shows, also not just episode 1, 5 and 13 of some random series, but you have whole seasons of really very well-known TV shows. You would have all the seasons, for example. Then the music selection is also mind-blowing. You have all kinds of genres, and even in classical music, that's not my area of expertise. Even there you have all the classical music eras, and you even have contemporary music, even 12-tone music. I don't know who's listening to that except for myself maybe, but they have it. Then they have all kinds of podcasts and kids movies, and they have games. They have live news, of course, live TV. They have news, and then they have even magazines that you can just go through. You can scroll through quite a lot of newspapers and magazines that I've never seen on another airline. So this is really so impressive, and that's unmatched by any airline in the world. Really great. The monitor screen is joined by this tablet over here. There's no extra remote control anymore, but this we have. And since the Airbus A380, actually, we have already a tablet, but this is the most modern version, of course. And here you can, for example, watch a movie on the monitor screen and then watch the live map, for example, on the tablet, or you can see the external camera on the tablet. What you cannot do is you cannot watch a movie here and then another movie on the tablet. or some other music on the tablet. So that you cannot do. Then you can just adjust the seat with your tablet as well. You can adjust the light, and you can also pair your headset, your personal headset, with the entertainment system, and you can also pair your phone, the Emirates app, with the entertainment system. Emirates is not exactly known for their understatement, and they advertise everything really heavily, and they also say that one of the highlights in business class is their really good amenity kit. It's by Bulgari, and it's really one of the best amenity kit in the world. However, what they don't say in their heavy advertisement is that you actually don't get these amenity kits on many of their flights worldwide, and even on this 8-hour-long flight to Edinburgh, you don't get it on a day flight. Edinburgh and Porto are the longest routes in Europe, and you don't get it. So it means to all of Europe, except for night flights, you don't get these amenity kits. So when you look around and see the competition, Qatar Airways and Etihad, that have really nice amenity kits too, and they give it out even on 4 or 5 hour long flights, you just wonder, it's a little disappointing, and it's also a little bit cheating on the customer. At least that's what I feel.
But here's some good news. Since 2024 there's finally slippers in business class, so the days when you had to put on street shoes every time you go to the lavatories are fortunately history.
Service is starting now in a few moments, so let's have a look at the menu. What do we get on this flight? First of all, like on all business class flight, especially mid and long haul, you have a huge selection of drinks, and that is first of all 6 different kinds of mocktails. There's also a vitality boost and some more juices and soft drinks. Then you have exactly 12 different kinds of cocktails, and they really mix them all freshly here in the galley. In this case, normally in the Airbus A350 you can watch them mix them at the onboard bar, so that is really very nice. Here, of course, you don't. Then you have the lunch. The lunch service has 3 different kinds of appetizers to choose from. That's soup, Arabic mezze, and roasted chicken. Then we have 3 different kinds of main courses. However, they don't have a vegetarian choice on board. You have to really order that before the flight online. Here you get beef or chicken or fish, and then there's a selection of 2 different cakes as dessert. There's some fruit and cheese and some chocolates, and then there's later lighter service, light bites, that is afternoon tea. Here on the flight to Great Britain, to Edinburgh and Scotland, there's sandwiches and scones, so I'm really curious how that's gonna be like, and some hot snacks. And then they say there's a social area. I'm wondering where the social area is. I couldn't see it in the beginning. Of course, it cannot be as big as the bar, but I have to have a look later. They suppose they have some sandwiches there and some little snacks as well.
Of course, you also get real espresso here. You have the opportunity now to buy me some coffee and keep me awake during my long nights editing videos at home. Buy Me a Coffee is your chance to support my work with the amount of a cup of coffee. You can buy me 1 or more coffees, and you can find the link in the top right of the window and in the video description. It's even easier with a super thank. You can find that directly under the video. I would be very happy because everything here is self-funded and really expensive to produce, and unfortunately tickets for the reports don't grow on trees for me either. Thank you so much for your support.
Then we have the wine list. They have Veuve Clicquot 2015 vintage as champagne, and then they have 2 kinds of white wines, and that's quite good actually. One is a white Bordeaux, that's a nice one actually, Les Arins de la Grange Blanc from 2023, and they have American Chardonnay, the Hill Chardonnay of 2021, also a nice one. Then they have as red wine a Saint-Emilion Chateau Cap de Morlaix from 2016, and an Elise Winery Cabernet Sauvignon from 2022. That's obviously from the United States. Both quite good red wines, and then they have a 10-year-old port wine. And of course they have all the hard liquor and whiskey and, for example, even Hennessy XO. If you go on first class, which they don't have on this plane, then you even get Hennessy Paradis. That's $1,000 per bottle. If you want to see that, have a look at my first class report from Dubai to Toronto, where you get all the details about that. So service has started and we're having some appetizers, and I actually asked if I could have more than just one appetizer so I can just present to you what there is, except for mezze and salad. So we have some roasted chicken that's cut in slices on lentils with some goat cheese. And then here's the Arabic mezze. And then we're getting to the wines, and I just ordered both white wines. So here we have the white Bordeaux. So it's nice to have a white Bordeaux on board a plane. And this is the Luggage, with a very nice balanced flavor, really nice typical white Bordeaux flavor. And then we have the Chardonnay from America. Also this one, very nice balanced wine, really very good level for business class white wines. And many European airlines and all United States airlines would be crying their eyes off their heads if they had to serve level like this to their customers. That will not happen. And here it's just normal. Emirates has very good wine expertise. They have their own wine cellars in southern France since many years ago, and they just have very good wine. And in these wine cellars in southern France, they have some really expensive ones. Have a look at my first class lounge report from Dubai. They had a bottle that's worth $750. It was just standing there by the bar, and in the meantime I researched a little. That is today worth more than $1,000, and it was really impressive. Now we got some food for a change, and that is fish makbous. So this is makbous. That is actually a specialty of the Arab region. That's very nicely spiced rice, and on that we have some fish. And I asked for 2 main courses, so I can show you more than just one dish. So we have this, and later we're gonna have some beef. And here we are at the second main course. We have some beef tenderloin with potatoes and green asparagus. And I asked for both red wines. So this is the really very nice Cabernet Sauvignon from America called Elise. Very, very nice wine. Really impressive. And then this one is a Saint-Emilion. Also, I just tried already, so I know already it is quite nice. A really nice French red wine. I mean, when you look at the plate here, what can you say? I mean, of course it's good quality, but Emirates always talks about themselves as if they are the best of the best. That's kind of a manner of the area, of the region anyway. Best, longest, biggest, tallest, and so forth. And when you look at the plate and look at the competition of Qatar and Etihad, especially Qatar Airways, you know you can do it much better. Of course, it is nice, as I said, but if you say you're the best, then you have to be the best, and this is not a nice presentation. They just put the potatoes, they throw some asparagus on it, and then it seems the fillet also fell onto the plate. I wouldn't serve it like that to my guests at home. Now I forgot to say something. When it comes to the amenity kit in first class, of course you get one on medium and long haul flights, but not on short haul flights, which is kind of understandable. However, there is a trick how you can get one anyway. And if you'd like to know how, just check out my report about the Emirates first class on the quite short hop from Cairo to Dubai on the Airbus A350. There you will see the trick. On this trip I'm traveling with hand luggage only, and that's again hand luggage by Level 8. That's a company that I've been trusting for more than a year and a half now, and they just have fantastic products. I'm having on this trip now a backpack that has a quality that I've never seen before. Really very, very sturdy and really nice and quite elegant even for a backpack. And a carry-on luggage that doesn't only look quite stunning, but it's also really very well made, very beautiful inside, very sturdy, and also has the best wheels I've ever had on a carry-on luggage. And I've used actually the most expensive brand so far.
Or take the big brother of my carry-on that has this front handle that puts an end to back pain when lifting the luggage fully packed.
And also just traveled on British Airways first class with the very stylish silver color aluminum carry-on luggage. Not only stylish and elegant, but also there very well made, very beautiful inside, and also there with the best wheels you can ever imagine. They just roll even over uneven surfaces like nothing. And if you're interested, have a look at the video description. There's a link for Level 8, including a really good discount code, so you get all items of Level 8 at a really good discount, even during promotions. You see, dessert has arrived and I put on the spot for the star of the show. But now I have to say something else about the seat. Of course, you see, once the table is set, once you have all the plates on there, you cannot get up anymore, because once you move this, there's still no way to get up anymore. And many airlines actually do have seats where you can still get up during the services. So if you really have to go to the bathroom urgently while you're having your lunch or dinner service, then you're really at the mercy of fate. So here we've arrived at the desserts, and it's not just desserts, it's actually pure gluttony, right? And to be honest, I'm just doing that all for you. I'm actually suffering here, I say. So this cake is quite nice. It's chocolate cake, obviously, and I mean also Qatar Airways. I'm not a fan of them. I know I have a series about Qatar Airways, but I'm not really a fan of Qatar itself, so to speak. But they do offer better dessert, much nicer presented and so on. But of course it's very good, and most airlines in the world will never get to this level.
Until now I thought this plane is nice, not revolutionary at all, but nice and at the good level that Emirates is known for. And then came a huge surprise, and one that suddenly changed all my opinion about this plane, and that's the bed. Of course you get a light mattress topper for lying down along with a nice blanket, and then there's these nice new custom-made window blinds that are quite unique and elegant, but you better sit down for what you're gonna see now.
Now we have to talk about something that is really important and really crucial when it comes to business class travel on a long-haul flight, and that is the bed position of the seat. And it's so bad I cannot believe it. Normally I do all the bed reviews of a seat lying down horizontally as it should be. Here I just could not, and I don't have any claustrophobic problems or tendencies or anything like that, but I just couldn't. It was just too tight. Once you lie down, you get tighter and tighter, because these armrests that look so beautiful and you're stunned by the beauty of the seat, these armrests cannot be moved, not up and down, not to the sides, nothing. So they stay as they are, and they are massive. That means you get tighter and tighter once you go down, and once you're in the completely lie-flat position, your arms end up under this armrest. So that means you have no space left and right of your arms, but also not up and down. It actually feels like, not like handcuffed, but let's say arm cuffed, right? You're really tied up in your seat, and that is an incredibly bad feeling. Everybody who has like claustrophobic tendencies will not be able to sleep here. Just impossible. Even I would not want to sleep here. And I mean, I don't know how people do it. Not, I couldn't do it. And I'm just wondering now why no YouTuber has talked about it, and also no press talked about it. I don't know why, because it's so obvious. Once you lie down, you're just tied up. I pay for all my travel myself. I will never have an airline pay for my trips, that's for sure. So I want to be really independent in everything I say, and but I'm sure that most other YouTubers are the same. So I don't understand the reason why nobody talked about it. And I mean, a business class traveler should arrive the next day rested and really sleeping well in the flight to be just fit for business, right, on the next day. And I would never be able to do that. So I'm really very surprised. And it's the first time that I would say that I don't want to go on a long-haul overnight flight on Emirates, at least when it comes to this plane. And the Airbus A350 is such a fantastic plane. But the combination for me right now is a no-go. I'm so surprised and really taken aback. So tell me, what do you think? Write in the comments. Do you think that this is great? Do you think this is not great? I was just really surprised seeing this. I mean, Emirates is actually a really good airline, and the Airbus A350 is a fantastic plane. Just the combination is so strange. And I mean, I don't understand a few things here and how they could happen as they happened after such a long wait also. So tell me, what do you think? Am I too picky? Tickets for these flights are really expensive, so I think everything should be really good, especially when an airline always says that they're the best of the best. One thing I mostly forget to mention personally is, if you like this well-researched, honest and unsponsored review, then please give me a thumbs up and write your comments under the video. You have no idea how much that really matters for the algorithm of YouTube. It really makes a difference, and this channel will be presented much better. And of course, if you haven't done yet so, subscribe to the channel. There's lots of really exciting airline reports waiting for you, and destination reports from all continents of the world. So after the bad fiasco, we're having some afternoon tea. And to be honest, if I didn't do this report now, I would not have ordered it because I'm really full. But I'm doing the report, so of course I did order it. So we have 2 scones and something sweet here. So this is really afternoon tea along with the sandwiches, and we have real clotted cream here, really nice. And of course you should have tea with afternoon tea, but I really have to stay awake quite long still today. Quite a lot of work to be done today, so I ordered some double espresso. Now let's talk about how I booked this flight and how much it cost. Well, to be honest, I would never have wanted to buy this flight here with cash because it's just very expensive. So I booked it with miles, but also that is actually very expensive, and I did it only because I wanted to give you a really nice report. I wanted to show you how this plane is, like just in the very beginning. So I took all the miles and spent them, 87,000 miles, Skywards miles, plus an incredible 400 euros in fees and taxes. So that's really a lot and actually way too much, but that's how much they ask. Now, Skywards used to be a really good miles program, at least an okay, good miles program, but then about 2 years ago they devaluated the program like big time. So all the loyal customers over there in the United Arab Emirates especially, who were so loyal over the years and collected the miles and even paid money to buy more miles, got surprised overnight when Emirates Skywards just devaluated their miles, sometimes by 50% or so, because suddenly a certain route would cost double the miles than just the day before, and on top of that came a big amount of of taxes and fees. You must know that some routes, especially when you have two legs, got really, really expensive. Suddenly you have like double taxes, double fees. For example, when you go from Europe via Dubai to Thailand, let's say, you have 400 plus 400 euros in fees. So a round trip would make 1,600 euros in fees. And on top come the really ridiculous high amount of miles. So that makes no sense. And Skywards used to be not an amazing, but quite a good miles program. I used to be quite high status member for a couple of years. So I really have good experience with them, but I also spent the miles before they had the big devaluation, and I just found this move really not okay, what they did 2 years ago. We just started our descent into Edinburgh now. How was this flight? And I don't even know where I should begin. There's so many things to talk about. Well, let's first say the crew. The crew was really nice. I wouldn't say they were proactive, but they were friendly, they were nice. They asked if I would need something else or something like that. So it was friendly, nice crew. Then we come, let's say, to the catering. It was typical Emirates catering. Very good quality of food, a nice selection of food. The presentation is medium, between nice and normal, nothing special. Of course, it's top-notch when you compare it to some European and all United States and American airlines. Of course, compared to that, they're amazing. They're in a totally different level up there. When you compare it to other airlines in the region, not only Qatar Airways, but also the other airlines, it's just good. But now let's talk about, let's say, the amenities. First of all, they have really nice slippers now on board. That was not the case before. Before you had to put on your street shoes every time you want to go to the bathroom, if you don't want to step in your fellow traveler's urine, right? So that time is over now. You have nice slippers. That is really nice. Then we come to the amenity kit, or actually the non-existence of the amenity kit. And I'm so picky now because Emirates always talks about themselves of being the best of the best and wow, so amazing. And they always talk about the amenity kits, how fantastic they are. But what they don't say in their advertisements is that you just don't get them on so many flights. Actually, all day flights to Europe, even this 8-hour flight to Edinburgh, you won't get an amenity kit. And then I don't understand. When you fly 5 hours, let's say from Munich to Dubai, overnight, you get one. And why do you need it more if you sleep maybe 4 hours out of the 5, you sleep? Why do you need it more than on this 8-hour flight where you maybe going to be awake and you might want something from that amenity kit? So I don't really get the logic out from that. That's kind of cheating on the customer. And now we come to the seat, and that is actually the biggest surprise for me because I was really not prepared for that. It is such a beautiful seat. You come in and you're really stunned how beautiful it is. It's so well done. It's the polished version of the old Airbus A350 seat, so it's all on the same base of seat, and it looks so nice. There's some modern things like this inductive charging and so on, but then you lie down. And that was a real shock. I could not believe what I felt there. I was like in a claustrophobic state suddenly, and that normally never happens with me. It's a seat that I don't want to lie in, even not for half an hour, and for sure not overnight. So how could anybody construct something like this? How could nobody see this? How could nobody also talk about it like after it got introduced? So that is really so strange, and it could have been avoided so easily. So I really don't quite understand how this was possible, and this is the most important part of a business class flight, that you can sleep really well overnight and feel nice and comfortable and well I have a couple of long-haul flights coming up for me now professionally as an opera singer, and I cannot believe what I'm gonna say right now. That is that I have to tell the employers that I would not like to be booked on a flight on Emirates in business class, at least when it comes to this kind of plane, and I cannot believe that I'm saying that. I'm really very surprised and also a little shocked, to be honest, about this result, because I really expected it to be quite amazing, at least when it comes to the seat, and it's not. I would not like to fly overnight on this kind of seat, because I know that I will not be able to perform and sing well the next day, and that makes it for me a no-go. And for that reason, I cannot believe that I say that now, I cannot recommend this plane and this seat. Here we've arrived in Edinburgh, and I cannot believe what kind of flight this was. Incredible, so many ups and downs, unfortunately with a tendency towards the downs, and I still cannot quite believe it. Anyway, I hope that you really enjoyed watching the report. If yes, give me a thumbs up, write in the comments, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it. So there's lots of further airline and destination reports waiting for you from all 6 continents of the world, and one would be this one over here. Really interesting. Check it out, and see you there at Travel Sing Fly.